creating Pleasure Bay. The main image on this sign is an aerial photograph from 1925 as Castle Island was being connected to South Boston. The photograph shows newly made land reaching just over halfway to Castle Island. A stretch of open land to the north is now Massport's Conley Container Terminal. On the south side, the new beach curves gracefully from the island to the South Boston shoreline that was itself shaped to continue the beach's arc to City Point. There, a very grand city-owned bathhouse and restaurant, known as the Head House, welcomed visitors. Pleasure Bay, with its beaches and boardwalk, was created when the eastern tip of South Boston was connected to Castle Island, which used to be about a half-mile offshore. When landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted drafted his 1883 plan for South Boston's Marine Park, he envisioned connecting it to Castle Island by filling in some 600 acres of mudflats, using soil dredged from the reserved channel to the north and the area to the south he named Pleasure Bay. The vision took nearly 50 years to complete. In the meantime, a wooden footbridge from the mainland was built in 1892, and a delighted public flocked to the island. On Thursday nights in the summer, dances were held there under a wooden canopy hung with colored lanterns. Irish serving girls in the 1890s who came to dance on their night off were affectionately described as kitchen canaries by the young men who sought their attention. The footbridge was replaced by a cement path across the newly made land in 1928, and then by a paved road in 1932. Across from Castle Island, an iron pier stretched seaward from the Head House. It defined Pleasure Bay and fulfilled Olmsted's plan of increasing public access to the health benefits of sea air. The 1938 hurricane heavily damaged the pier, and it was replaced in 1953 by a granite causeway. 6 years later, Pleasure Bay was enclosed by a dike with 2 openings that allow the tide to flow in and out. 4 illustrations are on the sign's lower panel. On the left are 2 maps. The first is from 1806 and shows Castle Island with its fort clearly separate from the mainland, offshore. The second, drawn in 1883, depicts how Olmsted envisioned the mainland and the island could be connected to create Pleasure Bay. A next image is a picture postcard of the footbridge that once connected the mainland to Castle Island. The footbridge gave the public access to Castle Island for the first time and attracted hundreds, especially on weekends. The postcard shows formally dressed couples strolling toward Castle Island and Fort Independence. 2 young boys with caps are kneeling on the side bench and leaning over the railing. A postcard on the right is of the iron pier built in 1896 that led from the Head House out to what was then called Head Island. A wooden canopy over part of the pier provided shade. Many people are strolling along the pier, the women wearing ankle-length skirts. A few boats are anchored in Pleasure Bay. Today, Head Island is known as the Sugar Bowl.
That plane's 10 times closer than it looks. So I'm here at Castle Island, the Star Fort. You see that? Check this out. It's about 20 feet up on the wall. What's that doing there? This area and this area of the same ghosting brick pattern. I don't know if it shows up or not. And this area also has this is on the front, near the front door. Same thing found on the banks of the Merrimack River in Manchester, New Hampshire, right? So standing down near the water next to Castle Island, you see that you have these megalithic stones all stacked. You got your crosshatches. And then I noticed on the ones interior to it, there's a hole in the middle of each one. And these are probably 5 feet by 5 feet. Probably not very thick, but the ones on the outside here are just gigantic, and it surrounds this entire island. So I'm down here near Sullivan's, and you see these giant blocks, granite, and they're all along the whole side path all the way out. So this thing must be all covered up. That's steel. Opposite of the harbor side. Just wanted to show you this wall does go completely around the place. There's also a man-made bay here, and it is surrounded by the granite making up the bay. And it goes, probably about we have here. It's right next to the JFK Library in Boston. Let's take a closer look. So if you look at the bottom of that turret, it starts off there. If you look at the other one over here and how how it's constructed. You'll see all bricks behind it. So this thing is definitely got a lot of brick in it. That could be bricks all the way up. So right across the street we have similar, and like I said, we're at the dorms of UMass, and this is the side of the big building. Let's see what this big wall is over here. Alright, so approaching the back, it's got a huge thick wall here. And as you go around, you can see the brick interior. Used to be another structure here. Yeah. I don't know. Just thought it was interesting. In the middle of UMass and the JFK Library, less than a quarter mile away. So there's that brick again, and if we look up at this huge archway here, you'll see that it's all brick interior behind the granite. Double clad brick and granite. I wonder if this is the calf pasture pumping station. BIS, okay. I have to figure out what that is. I have no idea. Three miles or so just piled up into the ocean in the bay to make this Pleasure Bay. As I scan over here, check this rock out. Looks like every other rock, right? And then you back up. Look at that detail in that rock, right? This is mostly underwater. You know, it's low tide right now. It has some words on the side, no, it's design. Very intricate. There's another piece there. I mean, that's part of some old building, right? And why would it be all popcorny, you know, blocked out on that? And then this is all perfect. It's got individual, you know, slats here. And it's very intricately carved. Let's see what else is here. I started off showing this one over here. It's kind of the same thing. Very slippery, you gotta be careful. That looks to be some kind of, you know, like a Lego type of block, right? Watch what happens to the base here as we go around the corner. Gets super janky. So another thing I notice about this building is the blocked up holes here, the slits, and the bricks have just turned to like a concrete. Is that melted? I mean, it could be. Let's check this one out over here. See a brick in there, and the rest of it is just melted. See that little brick in there? Everything in front of it's melted. There's another opening. All cooked on the outside, right? Here's a slot that isn't bricked up. See how it just turns to solid rock? I'm actually coming to the front where the gate is, the doors. And looky here. Like, look at how that just melts right out of the building. Like, what is that? So basically on the east side, melted out. And as I back up a little here, you see this big pile? It's turned to solid rock. Kind of looks like a pebblecrete. Is this a pebblecrete manufacturing? I have no idea, guys. Always guessing, never knowing. I have more questions than I do answers, that's for sure. The Ranger. Guy's got a cushy little job driving around Castle Island Fort, Star Fort, making sure the vaccinated are being good. Alright, I'm on the harbor side, and of course this place has a giant erection statue. For whatever reason. I see some brick melt up here, so just want to take a look. Okay, so there's Logan Airport. So I'm right across the way here at the Star Fort. And again, you get brick anomaly. Brick anomaly. Look at that one just turned and pointed out. And then you have this opening, which has burnt brick on the outside, and then you can see a brick inside. And the next one over, sorry for the shaking, same shit. And then as we come in here, see that one has steel, but it also has brick on either side. And the mortar snot. And every one of these on the outside here in the front have that brick and steel. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then down at the end there you see the burnt brick. Same features as I just showed you. What's that doing here? And as I continue on over here, here's another one. And as I continue on over here, this is next to the cargo container yard. There's another one. Is that natural, guys? Alright, so you have these, I don't know, 6-foot high slits that are about 6 inches wide. And they go all down the front. You see the entryway right there. But let's just take a look at a few of these. This one has steel in it. This one looks to be blocked up with cement and old brick. Next one over, you have bricks. Sorry for the noise, a jet going right overhead. To me, that looks cooked, like it's been cooked out. Next one over. Just all cooked out as well. The wall itself looks all, This one here, you got some red brick on the bottom, and then it, has that melted look. And halfway up, it's plugged with granite. This one has a combination of red brick and melted brick. This one is just, it's got brick in there and regular rock and cement. This one's just been covered up with cement. This one is just granite. This one has steel and wood behind it. Steel and wood. Steel and wood. Blocked up with cement. Granite. Getting closer to the door. Steel and wood. Steel and wood. Steel and wood. And the last one before the door. Steel and wood. And it's the same on this side, just in reverse. This one's got 3. You got red brick, melted brick, and then granite. And you can see how the iron just stains the entire structure, right? That one's just blocked up with granite. This one's got just a steel panel blocking. And all the way to the corner here. See here? Looks like this granite's polished right here. Like this has been added. This piece here has been added after the fact. Actually, hold on a second. So I'm on the opposite side where I started over there showing you all the slits. And as I get to the end down here, I'm noticing that this whole front here, where all the slits are, they're fitted with, you know, like a 4-inch or 3-inch granite facing. Kind of see the new and the old, right? And as you get higher, you can see it's a little more janky and screwed up. Yeah, this has been all patched up in the front. Must have been a lot of damage.